It's time for my model predictions for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. How do we do in week 12? The model went 6-7-1 on all the games, just under 500, and 2-3 in my best bets. So the model cooled down a little bit after red hot week 11, where it went 12-3 on all the bets and 4-1 on my best bets. But over the last 2 weeks, the model is 64% on all the bets and 6-4 or 60% on my best bets. On certain games, the model got the score prediction really close. Let me show you what I mean. In week 12, the model predicted the Jags would beat the Cardinals 27-23. And because the spread line was -3, it would pick the Jaguars to cover the 3-point spread. But in reality, Jaguars actually won 27-24 in overtime. So it got the Jaguars score exact, which is amazing, and it only missed by 1 on the Cardinals score. So for this game, the model did great. It was almost perfect. But this particular bet was a push. So while the model got the score almost exactly correct, because it was so close to the actual sportsbooks line, the bet was a push. But what we're looking for here with the model is a margin of victory that's different from the sportsbooks. And that's where we find our edges. And that's exactly what happened in this next game, where the model predicted the Rams would beat the Bucks 27-17. So it predicted a 10-point margin of victory, and the spread was only -6.5. So because of what the model predicted, I picked the Rams to cover a 6.5-point spread, and that was one of my 5 best bets. And the real score, the Rams won 34-7. So while the model was off by 7 points for the Rams and 10 points for the Bucks, but the only thing that mattered here was it predicted a margin of 10 points, which was much larger than the 6.5-point spread. So in this case, the model did a great job predicting a wider margin, and this was the best bet that won. Let's get to the score predictions for the Thanksgiving and Black Friday games. In the first game at 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, the Lions were 2.5-point favorites at home against the Packers. And a lot of people are talking about the revenge game here for the Lions. They got beat pretty easily in week 1 in Green Bay. And the model predicts the Lions to win 26-24. So while this might mean they get their revenge against the Packers, the predicted margin of victory here is not big enough for the spread. So the model will pick the Packers plus 2.5 at the Lions. But if you look at available odds here on the sports books, I actually found a +3 for the Packers. With a total of 50 points, the model would predict over 48.5. And the next thing, we have a really great matchup here. The Chiefs on the road against the Cowboys. The Chiefs are 3-point favorites on the road. And the model predicts the Chiefs are going to win 28-23. So they would cover a 3-point spread. Now, I know the Cowboys defense is getting better here. They're getting healthier. They got Quinton Williams from the Jets. He's looking great. But hold on just a second here. 2 weeks ago, they shut down the Raiders, a really poor offensive team. And last week, the Cowboys came back against the Eagles after being down 21-0. And that Eagles offense has struggled most of the year. The Chiefs have one of the top offenses in the league, as do the Cowboys. But the Chiefs' defense is strong, and they held the top offense in the Colts last week to 20 points. For all those reasons, I'm picking the Chiefs -3 to be my first best bet of week 13. With 51 total points, model would predict under 52.5. In the Thursday night game, with the Ravens at home as 7-point favorites against the Bengals, Joe Burrow's back for this game. That's getting a lot of people really excited here. But wait just a second. Joe Flacco did actually really good with this Bengals offense. And while Joe Burrow is definitely a step up here, I'm not so sure it's going to be a really big difference. But regardless, the model picks the Ravens to win 24-20. So the model takes the Bengals +7 against the spread. With 44 total points predicted, it would go under 51.5. For the Black Friday game, where the Eagles at home is 7-point favorites against the Bears. Now, as I just mentioned here, the Eagles blew a 21-point lead in Dallas last week, and they didn't score any points in the entire second half. So I'm still worried about this Eagles offense, and I think the model agrees. The model picks the Eagles to win 23-20, so it would have picked the Bears +7 against the spread. I'm not a believer in the Bears. They've won a lot of close games with last-minute heroics, and while the Eagles' defense is getting better, their offense is still struggling. With 43 total points, model would predict under 44.5. And this is the final prediction for this video. I'll put out another video on Friday morning where I give the model predictions for the rest of the week 13 games. Hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck in your bets on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Let's go! Eat some turkey.